With Marvel Studios tackling mutants over the course of the next couple of years, and bringing in a whole lot of characters that many fans have been waiting to see for quite a long time, it's going to be interesting to see just how they handle such an influx of what can really be described as an entire universe within Marvel itself. And let's be real, if you're a fan of the X-Men comics, you already know and feel that they kind of exist outside of the main Marvel continuity with how much they have going on just by themselves alone. Now let's talk about why Marvel can already retcon in two big characters as mutants, and it's already shown that they're willing to do it, and there's an explanation that's literally within their first appearance. So just for clarity's sake, we still don't know how exactly Pietro and Wanda got their powers. We know that something was unlocked inside of them, and they were miracles, as Strucker, the leader of Hydra, put it. Beyond that, we never really got deep into explaining how their powers came to be, or anything outside of they just unlocked them. They were successful as part of trials. That's all we know. And then, as the story of the MCU continues, we've seen that multiple other characters have had their powers, let's just say, augmented in weird ways. Captain Marvel, for example, with that giant explosion that happened and then the powers she got. Then you have Monica. Same thing. She goes through that barrier, suddenly her DNA is rewritten. Most recently, Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel is known as a mutant, yes, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. Essentially, this goes into a latent mutant. Now, some people might not be familiar with these, but latent mutants are, in Marvel Comics, mutants that are a subcategory of the normal mutants. And what makes you a latent mutant is the fact that your powers do not necessarily manifest right when you become a teenager. Instead, those powers are dormant inside of you up until something unlocks them. For Kamala Khan, for example, it was this bangle and also, well, this cosmic energy that's connected to it and whatever else. Now again, going back to Age of Ultron, it was the Mind Stone from space that was able to unlock the telekinesis that she had, and also what would go on to become the chaos magic that she's connected to. So again, latent mutants are just that. Mutants that aren't exactly maturing and come out properly, but then when something unlocks it, well, they get their powers. So again, there's already a precedent here for them to be able to pull it off because they did it with Ms. Marvel. And at the same time, they never really go on in full details in regards to a lot of the backstory of Wanda. And what we got, again, we've seen mind manipulation and things go very differently all over the place. So recent theories that they could technically make Wanda and Pietro technical mutants by making their powers dormant up until they were affected by the Mind Stone, honestly falls back in line with everything everybody was speculating when it came to that reveal of them being connected to Age of Ultron, and of course the post-credit scene of the previous film where they were in it. So this honestly all does seem like you could easily just explain it and then retroactively make them mutants and then add more of a context for why people might hate them, because hey, that crazy one that's been involved with multiple things and also tried to end everybody, yeah, she's a mutant. That's why we hate them. It just adds a little bit more urgency to humans. And also now it gives her an interesting way to return if you reveal that her father could in fact be Magneto. Because again, people really want that connection in there. And since they never really fully explored it in the Fox universe, even the connection between Pietro and Magneto, you could do it here this time around. And I see many people wanting this and demanding it, quite honestly. So this might actually all work in a very strange way.